I do have to tell you, there's something about this year, 2022, that is making it a little harder for us to have healthy relationships with our partner and marriages. And if you're feeling like your relationship is 10 times harder this year because you're having to juggle decisions that you've never had to make before, and you're still dealing with like navigating all your household responsibilities and work and parenting, and you don't even have the time or the energy for date night, like if you're feeling this, you are not alone. Hi there, I am Sayidi, marriage and relationship coach at You and Me Time, and I help women keep their relationship super strong throughout life's busy seasons. That way we actually get to enjoy the life that we're building with our partner. So if this is something that you're interested in, I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe. This way we can go on this journey together. This week was a very heavy week for me and my family. I mean, it was crazy because I don't think I've ever received that much negative news in 7 days than what we just did in this past week. I mean, death in the family member hospitalized. We had a separation in the family, and just like all of that happening in 1 week. And when you add up everything that is happening in our country, it just doesn't help. And Monday night I went to my husband and I was feeling so overwhelmed, and I was just like, I just feel anxious. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go to sleep. You know, I try to be very careful with what I watch on social media, and everybody is just reposting this specific news, and I was just feeling it. And it was literally like creating like a physical anxiety, and I can feel it. And you know, it was interesting because at that moment I was sitting with him on the sofa, and I was just like, you know, families didn't have to go through any of this back in the day. You know, the amount of pressure, the amount of things that we're having to navigate this year in 2022, it's like no other. And I was just listening to Jay Shetty talk about this with Ellen DeGeneres. He was saying to her that he read a study where today we are exposed to more negative news in a 24-hour period than people were exposed to in their lifetime 25 years ago. That's heavy stuff. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why you might be feeling like your relationship is harder this year in 2022 and what you can do about it. Okay, so the first reason why relationships are harder this year in 2022 is because you are wearing the wrong shoes. And hear me on this. Just imagine that you're going to the park with one of your kids, and instead of you wearing sneakers, you decide to wear heels. How comfortable would it be for you to go down the slide in heels on? You will probably break something really quick, right? It sounds funny, like just thinking about it, but it won't be so funny if you actually do it, right? But we don't do that, right? Depending on where you're gonna go, you decide what shoes you're gonna wear, right? Why? Because your shoes are your support system for you to be able to do what you want to do, for you to actually be in that place and enjoy it, right? And in the same way, the shoes are a metaphor for systems in our relationships. Systems are there to support us, to make life easier for us. And if we know that we're not going to have a lot of time together, that we are going to be exposed to a lot of pressure, that we're having to navigate a lot of responsibilities, hey, guess what? We need to put the right shoes in place. We need to put the right systems in place for us to actually be able to experience the life that we want. We need to anticipate what we're going to be stepping into and put in the right shoes, the right systems. So here's a quick example. My husband and I, we come together once a day for about 10 to 15 minutes to unwind after the day. But we knew that it was gonna be harder for us to like do this very elaborate date night every night, because who has the energy for that? And so, you know, by the time that he gets home from work, I'm already tired from working and taking care of our daughter. And by the time that she goes to sleep, it's like 8 o'clock. And by that time, I'm like, my brain is fried. So after figuring out, okay, what kind of system can we implement that will make it easier for us to like even have some little time together? You know, what I noticed that I started to drink a magnesium drink every night. And it really helps me to like unwind and relax after the long work day. If you haven't tried it, maybe you want to check it out. I don't know. But anyways, so while I was drinking this, it became like something that I began to do every day. So I'm like, why don't we talk during this time? So now we're sitting together in the same spot every night while I'm drinking my magnesium drink. He's telling me about his day. I'm telling him about my day. And that's like our little connection system. So figure out what systems can you implement with your partner for you to make it easier for you guys, to make life easier on each other. Think about what is it that you want to experience. Do you want to communicate? Do you want to connect? What are some life experiences that you want to have, and how can you make it easier for you guys to actually experience that together? So the second reason why your relationship feels harder this year in 2022 is because you have bought into the lies. And here's what I mean. A few years ago, I remember speaking with a husband who had been married for over 12 years. Him and his wife owned a business together, and they had 2 kids. By the time they both got home, they were exhausted, and they each had to obviously take care of the household, the chores, and the kids, and putting them to bed and all of that. And so then he went on to describe to me like how the weekends were full for them with commitments. Like there was always like a dance recital or a soccer practice or a birthday party to go to. And like the way that he was describing it, it seemed like he had no choice. And so I remember telling him, I was like, have you considered that you actually do have control of how you structure your life? And he hadn't really thought about that. And see, I think as a society, we have bought into so many lies that we need to be living life a certain way. That in order for us to be successful in our careers or our businesses, we have to do more. We have to be on every social media platform, and we have to be posting 5 times a day, and we have to be going to all these networking events. Who said that? If you're building your career, you have to put your career first at the expense of your family. Who said that? I want you to question everything. That if you're gonna have kids, you need to put your kids in all these extracurricular activities, because you need to stimulate their brains, and they need to be in like 5 things every week in order for them to like be developed. Who said that? If you're gonna be a good Christian, you need to go to church and be serving like 5 times a week and be in all these different ministries. Who said that? When you are buying into all these lies that you need to be living your life in a certain way, life it's going to be difficult. Your relationship is going to be difficult, but it's not even because of your relationship. It's because of the way that you are choosing to live your life. So I want to invite you, I want to encourage you, I want to give you the permission slip to question everything that you're doing. Question every commitment that you have in your calendars. Are you living your life the way that you want to? Are you living your life at a rhythm that feels good to you? Listen to that. You don't have to buy into anything. Just because you're seeing other people do it, just because it's normal for people to do it, doesn't mean that you have to. My husband and I, it took us 5 years to even have one TV in our home. And so many of us, we're complaining that we don't have time when we get home to connect with our partners. But guess what? We are spending that time in Netflix, right? And so if there is something that is going against the life that you're wanting to experience with your partner, cut it off. You have that control. Don't buy into the lie. Now, the third reason why your relationship is feeling more difficult, harder, overwhelming this year in 2022 is because you are turning away from each other. And this happens in tiny little moments when you decide to turn to your phone instead of turning to your partner. That moment when you're tired, overwhelmed, when you're feeling anxious, and you go on social media, you go on Instagram and tell the world how you're feeling instead of going to your partner and having a real, raw, vulnerable conversation. Listen, if your relationship is feeling difficult, it's because you're trying to go at it alone. If you're having a life partner, if you're blessed to have someone to go on this life with you, don't miss the point. You don't need to be going on social media at every second of the day trying to see how everyone else is living their life. Live your life with your partner. Don't miss those tiny little moments where you're turning to Instagram or YouTube, where you can be turning to your partner and having real, raw, vulnerable conversations. All right, so we just explored 3 reasons why your relationship is more difficult this year in 2022 and what you can do about it. So let's recap real quick. Reason number 1, you are wearing the wrong shoes. Reason number 2, you've bought into the lies. And reason number 3, you are turning away from each other. Hey, so which of these reasons resonated with you most? Comment below and let me know. Now, are you looking for more ways to improve your relationship? Click the link below for more resources.